Today we turn to the end of what we have as Acts chapter 4 and enter into Acts chapter 5. And dear Dr. Luke is at the end of 4 drawing together threads and commenting on what the life was like in the early church. And you might look at that and say, well, this is idyllic. Well, let's push behind it a little more. Yes, it's true that those who were together had been formed by the Holy Spirit and their hearts were knit. They were of one heart, they were of one soul. They were filled with the Spirit of God, entering fully into his fellowship. And the result of that was that need, financial, was taken care of. It wasn't that they had just become nicer human beings, though that would have been fine. But this is the outworking of the resurrection. When Jesus in his presence and power comes close to you, you change. Sometimes not for the better. But the outworking at the end of chapter 4 is not down to people becoming nicer. It's down to the people of God encountering the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and thus there is practical effect. And indeed, there is one picked out here called Barnabas. Notice, please, that this is not about you have to give away all your money or possessions. God gives you and I the responsibility of stewardship. But what happens in response to the drawing near of Jesus and the power of the Spirit, Barnabas says, I see the need. Somebody ought to do something about it. I will. And he sells a piece of property and he gives that money to the apostles that they might distribute to those in need. And it says that his nickname became a son of encouragement. And all of us share in the ministry of encouragement. Literally, set out to encourage. Indeed, the book of Hebrews says, right at the end, every day, as long as this day lasts, encourage, build one another up. And straightway Luke takes us into an incident now where Ananias and Sapphira come, and they too have sold a piece of property. And that's a good thing to do. It was their choice. But when they sold the property, they chose to hold on to some of that money. They could have done that, but they didn't disclose it. What they did was they used their action to make themselves look good, and in so doing, lied about who they were and their persona to the whole church. And we might say, well, is that so bad to lie? And well, actually it is, because of the spirit of truth. But let's notice how Luke sets this up. When Ananias comes in and Peter exposes the heart of Ananias, Peter says, why has Satan filled your heart to lie to the Holy Spirit and to keep back part of the proceeds of the land? While it remained unsold, did it not remain your own? And after it was sold, was it not at your disposal? In other words, these lies of this couple were motivated directly by Satan himself, the false spirit, the deceiver, the father of lies. The enemy within is often more difficult to spot than the attack from without. An opportunity was given to Sapphira to tell the truth. She likewise didn't take it, and the judgment of God fell. So on the one hand, you have an idyllic church. On the other hand, you have an enemy within. G.K. Chesterton once wrote to the Times in response to the question, what is wrong with the world? And he wrote back and said, Dear Sir, I am yours sincerely. I suggest that in Acts 5, there's an echo of Judas the Iscariot. Lord, cleanse our motives and keep us true.